my god, JP, actually I've been wanting to tell you, like, I think you're very cute and I like you.
Whoa! Yikes.
Whoa! Have you all dated people from single-sex schools?
And all the girls' schools come together. And someone's like, that's how we match.
But you think that lowers your standard? Because like there's a lot of pent-up sexual frustration, right?
I'm scared for my job now.
I don't think I've ever said this publicly before. It's so terrifying for me to say it because I've never said it before. Like, I'm scared.
Since you have such a nice like radio voice and all that, right? Can you help us do like the TDK intro?
This is your daily catch-up.
Boom. So a few months ago, we were actually very kindly invited by two lovely DJs to be on live radio
Yes, yeah.
as the daily catch-up. So we showed up, we tried to figure out, hey, got plan or not, got anything? They just say, just come. Just come. Okay, so we thought that we bring the magic to you guys as well. So we've invited the lovely radio DJs here to hopefully bring some of the magic here. So please welcome Gerald and Kim.
Thank you guys for having us.
Welcome.
You guys cannot imagine, this is actually very exciting for me because I've been a long-time listener of the Daily Catch-Up.
Don't suck up, man. Stop being suck up.
I don't need to suck
We
up.
shy.
I don't need to suck up. But to be honest, every time when I drive, you guys are on my Spotify.
I don't know how you all felt. We didn't really have a debrief after that radio session. We were just faster because late already, 8 p.m. We stayed for like 2 hours plus.
No, then at some point I realized they're waiting for us to go home. Then we're like, hey, okay.
We overstayed our welcome. No, but I was actually exactly like you. Like, it was a childlike experience for me because like I love radio. Until today, like I'm just like always radio first ahead of like Spotify. In my car.
You said you wanted to be a radio DJ.
I do.
We're having a competition now. Can you join?
I heard Star, right?
But
97
what's
Star.
the age thing?
He's quite young. How old are you?
33.
Huh?
Really?
Too old?
No, but if he's
There's an age cutoff.
as in bro, but you're in it, what? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
that's why I'm already 40. It's fine.
So when we were invited, right, I think each of us, you let us experience like different parts of how to be a DJ out there, right? How did we perform? Like Dan did... he did an article.
He did my
I did
sports.
sports.
He did
Yeah.
sports.
I messed up lots of names.
No, he was amazing. I think we should hire him.
Yeah, to be honest, I think Dan has got this certain flair.
Yeah. Legit.
Again, I don't have to suck up, right? But
it's
yeah,
okay.
I guess, because Dan has got a little passion in radio and therefore, he has listened to DJs speak before and therefore, he's got that thing. So that's him. For John Paul, you were a bit kanchiong, a little bit I can sense.
What did you do? I
But
don't
still, you
remember.
managed to actually...
That's so sad. Not memorable, my performance.
No, it's memorable.
Huh?
They have to delete that
Honestly,
segment.
I tried to make it a bit different.
He did traffic.
I remember Gerald said to you, drive safe, for you to end off your traffic by saying drive safe. But when Gerald said drive safe, you said, okay.
And of course, this guy is natural lah.
Very natural.
Yeah, you
Yeah, also, I was so nervous, and then the caller's name was my name. Then the whole thing was so confusing because I didn't introduce
Alright,
myself,
yeah.
introduce him.
That's true. But I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. No, okay, I want to caveat. It's not that they were unprofessional at all.
Yeah.
It was the fact that they were so comfortable in doing it. It felt like they were not DJing.
Yeah.
They were going throughout. They're doing their life.
Yeah.
They're just hanging out, but then they're doing their job at the side.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they just talk, and for some reasons, I don't know the way you move the mics, but we can't hear you lower or turn off our mics, you see. So we would just talk like that, and then suddenly Gerald over there, right? He would just do the traffic.
Right.
Then we're like, where's the everybody shut up?
Yeah.
We like the ambient sounds, Kim
It's
and I,
okay.
sometimes when she coughs as well, or when I cough, like, we just,
No, it doesn't work. There's actually a cough button like on my side. Because he can, so on the panel side, you can move like the volume up and down. So
Yeah.
you can kind of control everybody's microphones. But on my side, if I want to cough or like, you choke or something, you're like, there's actually a button that you can press. Most of the time I'm just eating, so he has to continue talking.
yeah, she eats a lot. But anyway,
Yikes. Whoa! So maybe I tell you where we are coming from. We are not worried about embarrassing ourselves. We are worried about getting you in trouble.
no lah.
Yeah, so when we didn't get the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 order, everyone shut the hell up, I'm going live, right?
Yeah.
My worry is that we'll us coming on your show, then you all get a call after that and be like, what?
You're very quiet lah. You
Yeah, you're
guys
quite
were like a
quiet.
little bit scared and...
Then we were terrified, if I'm being honest.
Best behavior
My
mode.
armpit is wet and I was drenched.
One of the things that we talked about, Gerald brought up during the live show session, right, was that we are actually from the same school.
Hey!
What? Which one?
St.
St. Gabriel's?
St. Gabriel's, all boys school. Were you there for 10 years?
Primary school and secondary school.
So you were there for 10 years also?
That's right.
There's a lot of debate online when it comes to same-sex versus co-ed schools. Yeah. I'm wondering, like, how do you think being in a same-sex school for 10 years, right, affected you in your adulthood?
Wow. I had a lot. I had a good time in St.
I
Gabriel's.
don't think it affected him. He got game on it. Tell the stories
good
of how
lah.
you joke the
He
girls.
got Rizz.
Meaning being in a same-sex school upped your game, man.
I don't know about how you felt like JP, but when you're in an all-boys school, right, somehow you are branded as boys school. Then the
Correct
girls
what?
somehow feel like, wow, this boy from boys school. And
I
No
think
eh.
there's negative and positive.
okay, but
Yeah, and it kind of balances out.
Yeah.
no, it's like when you hear, oh, convent girl.
I see.
Hey,
not
what?
bad.
I was a
Not bad.
common girl.
Yeah.
Are you saying good or bad?
They
No,
feel
good lah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
okay.
good
like a
thing.
premium, like one level. of premium.
Correct. So it's like branded,
Yeah.
right? Like LV. But anyway, so
Actually, for convent, a bit more so than for boys' school.
Yes.
I feel.
Depends which convent.
right. Which convent are you from?
I was from IJ Katong Primary.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's not one of the good ones, right? Is that
Oh,
one?
yeah.
No,
bad, not bad,
Katong
not
okay.
bad, not bad.
We got a really good chili mee pok in school, okay?
Wow.
It's like every IJ Primary Katong girl.
Why do you have to always
Well,
relate anything
no.
to food?
No, this is like legendary.
Do you
The
think
chili
it
mee
holds
pok
up?
is
Do you think if you go and
legendary.
try today, you like it?
I tried it last year because the auntie's
it's
still
still
there.
around?
Yeah.
That's how good it is.
And then I asked her,
She's the
Auntie,
principal.
do you remember me? And then she don't remember me.
St. Gabe's got no legendary food.
Okay,
I only remember, right,
I can't
you
even
buy
remember what we
Mirabus
had.
for like 50 cents in primary school, right? Then
Same,
they give you
all of
like
us.
5 strand of the yellow noodle and sauce. Then right, I don't know this guy go Japan to learn his knife skills, right? But the sliver of egg that they give you,
Translucent.
yeah, what protein? Last time no such thing.
I think they use the string, right, or something.
Oh, really?
So like, when I was after secondary school, I went to like CJC, and somehow like all the boys' school will like come together, and then all the girls' school will come together, and somehow it's like that's how we match. Then all the co-ed schools are like just at one corner.
already making out.
Because they already have
No, what? I'm not saying that.
It's like a filtered Tinder.
Yeah, so,
okay.
so it's like I felt like I was in this membership law.
So how do you meet? Because like
That's
for
not bad.
co-ed
Tuition
students.
class.
Oh,
Okay.
That makes
But
sense.
you think that lowers your standard because like there's a lot of pent up sexual frustration, right? Like the lack of supply.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. I'm scared for my job now.
Be very careful what you can say right now.
No, so it's interesting because, right, there has been research that has been done, right, that if you go to a single sex school, your social development is actually impacted.
Oh, really?
Yeah. However, academically, there is a tendency for better performance
Yeah, like, no distraction.
associated with like single sex schools. It's more prestigious and all this kind of thing. So it's harder to get in, whatever. So the quality of the students there is supposedly better.
Okay, so
there
my
is
children
this
will go to a
strange,
single sex school.
trade-off.
Well, I really think it depends, Like it also depends on
Depends is a cop-out answer on
Okay,
the podcast.
the friends
Make a stand.
Right. It all depends on the friends that you meet. And like I was lucky that I had good friends, like friends who wouldn't mind studying, but also friends who was willing to like just have fun. So although we were kind of like nerds and everything, but then after school we would go to like Junction 8 or whatever just to meet up with girls from different schools.
How you all meet them? Like how do you
So like friends of friends of friends.
Oh, so
And
you were
then-
lucky lah. You cannot like well connected.
Yeah.
No, so for St. Gabe's, right, I think the specific one is that
Sea
because
levels.
it's a Catholic
Sorry, nothing.
school,
You think you want
he's hunting ground.
That came out so
like nobody asked it.
He was just waiting to tell us.
PL. Okay, anyway.
So because it's St. Gabe's, it's a Catholic school. So all these like Catholic students,
People that go to church, so
they
they
go to the same churches as the girls from the all girls
yeah.
schools.
Oh, so you meet at
So they
church.
interact there.
yeah.
Then when they go and hang out together, right? Then you meet with
my
all these
church
girls
friends
also,
also,
like,
yeah.
If not, right, it's the Serangoon McDonald.
That's true.
Wait, so tell us more about your experience. You have so many questions. You must have some experience as well.
I personally feel that 10 years with just dudes, right? I struggle to talk to women after that, yeah. Like I feel like there are certain disadvantages. The
Yeah.
boys with older brothers, right? They different. They are game all different. They learn a lot of other things already.
Yeah.
But I don't have any older
'Cause they
siblings.
have, like, a
and all that.
reference.
Yeah. They have somebody to like guide them. Then I don't know anything. I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
People taper pants, all this kind of thing. So cool, right? My pants like 5 size bigger, that kind. Because I lost weight from sec 1 to sec 4.
There was a phase where that was cool. Not your face.
you know.
Missed it.
But if given a chance to whether or not I want to put my kid in a single sex school or like a co-ed school, I think I would choose single sex still.
Yeah.
Why? I
really had a good time. I think in terms of like the culture as well as, you know, how the teachers actually, you know, like communicate with the students, it's a little bit different. So like compare this with my wife as well. You know, my wife was from a co-ed school, and I could sense the difference. Yeah.
What was the difference?
I don't know if it's because they have got like, you know, like, okay, for this month, it's going to be a month of learning about manners. And then later on in October,
But that depends on your school.
you
your
go to
teacher,
Shutback and then you learn
principal.
about how to like treat a girl, that kind of thing.
Right.
Oh.
How you learn how to treat a girl?
I think they removed it. They gave up on the rest.
Sec 4 what? No.
I have so
How to
many
be a gentleman, yeah.
inappropriate things to say now.
Like ethics classes.
Yeah, etiquette. So like I went for this
etiquette,
class,
actually.
and then they will tell you, okay, how you eat, you know, from outside to inside, that kind of thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then when you go out as well, you know, like open a door for a girl and stuff like that.
How to dress for like job
How to
interviews.
dance with the girl as well. I had that class.
You want to MC that day lah?
Surely have one.
But you are not from the same generation as Gerald, so it's quite different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they took it out. Not important, I guess.
Not from the
Batch
same batch.
overperform.
Yeah.
That is this in convents also? How to
I was-
let guys open doors for you?
No. Of course not.
Yeah.
We had etiquette classes and stuff like that also. But then they will teach you, I think that was more under like sexual education, like, oh, you know, things that you have to take note of. If a person makes you feel uncomfortable, how do you say yes or no? And all that kind of
Okay,
stuff.
co-ed has that. Co-ed has that.
Yeah. But I went to a co-ed school for secondary school, and I was permanently like envious of my friends who continue on in like convent schools
Why
or
so?
like single sex.
So what were you envious about?
I feel like it's different, like the friendships.
The sisterhood
Yeah, well, but the friendships. But basically, my entire clique just went to like, you know, kissy sex, and I was just like, oh, okay, all by myself.
Again, also it depends like if you're heng sui, whether or not you get good friends around
I had
you.
really good friends. I think in secondary 3 and 4 onwards, I had like really, really like close friends. I mean, I still hang out with my secondary school, primary school. I have friends from like every basically like part, but I think the experience is just different. Yeah.
And
Actually, I feel like if you grow up in a co-ed school, you might grow up a little bit slower.
Huh?
Because
What?
as a girl, you get to be a girl for a long time. As a boy, you be a boy for a long time. But I feel like in the co-ed school is not. You see your friends date, then a lot of fights happen as a result of co-ed school because egos are being stoked every day. And especially when you get to secondary level or upper primary level even, right? Then you got fights already because you disrespect me in front of this girl. But if you disrespect me, okay. You know? But if it's in front of the girl I like, maybe not okay.
Okay, I never experienced that.
Yeah, so I feel like you start putting yourself in this situation a lot from a very, very young age.
Maybe because you're very popular, people always fight over you. I don't know.
Must be. No, like, I mean,
Like, what's in the fights, for me.
like for me, it was that it was really distracting lah, because like you are literally surrounded with like the girls are surrounded by boys are surrounded by girls, and so like that day when we were in secondary school, so it was when MSN Messenger was like huge.
Oh yeah.
So like everyone's just waiting to go home, and then just waiting for like your the girls to come online, and then she was just like, hello.
Online, offline, and get them to talk to you.
Hey, how you know?
I don't know. A lot of losers do
I
it.
did that too.
Yeah.
He just said a lot of losers do that.
Just to get attention, it's true.
Exactly. Like our opposite appear offline. She comes on, right? You happen to be here?
And then like using the song lyrics as like
Her
Johnson.
going, hey, I saw you go offline. Yeah, it's me. Hi.
You know, I feel like the girls all know that. But they lie.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's
When
true.
MSN started letting you put like what song you're playing, I will purposely wait for like that girl that I crush on to see what she was playing. Right, then 2 days later I'll purposely play that song.
Then she will think that, you know, we are in sync, like, you know, same.
And it
same
worked.
type.
It's worked before. Like she was like, "Oh my god, I love this song. This is my favorite album right now." I was like, yeah.
Wait, so you got a lot of girlfriends in like secondary school?
Yeah, I was about to ask that actually.
Yes,
Dan
quite.
handsome, I don't know.
Nothing to do with looks. I don't think I'm handsome. It was purely MSN.
No, I tell you, he was
It was
like.
purely MSN.
He was that traditional,
MSN.
like, because he played guitar.
Okay.
He got like more friends.
And, the guitar is a weapon, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you play guitar.
You know, he went
No, it's a sex
he went to
machine.
play guitar just so he can sian girls there.
No, same.
I
That's why we all learn
Sian
how to play.
girls. Because I was.
You said
I
you were
was
like
in,
guitar cut. Then
So
you
so CJC, not guitar club.
Guitar.
So CJC is a Catholic school, and then we had like praise and worship. So I was the praise and worship leader lah. So I had to like learn how to play guitar and everything. Then so when I started playing, suddenly all the girls would sit around.
And then he said he got long fringe, right? So he'll play with him.
When did I say that? the Justin Bieber flick.
She embezzled the story.
The guitar was the
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Have you all dated people from single sex schools and co-ed schools?
In my dating history of 2 is 2.
Yes.
What? No, so much
So relevant for this conversation.
That's not bad.
So if you all have, then
4 to
have you all
3.
felt like any difference?
I felt like the single sex school girls were a lot more confident. Like they were willing to say whatever they want to say.
No, but is that confident or less nervous? I feel like different. Co-ed can
I
make
feel
you
like
very
that's
nervous.
very individual. It depends on individual.
Co-ed school makes you
No,
less nervous, more nervous because you see your friend, like my friend like this girl, right? Then he go and confess. Then you see in your eyes the way she reject him and the way his life went downhill, right?
You know what to avoid lah.
Yeah. So
Or you are exposed to rejection and you
Yeah,
see
like
it,
more.
so you learn that it's okay.
no, for me, I
definitely
learned
not
that. I learned that it was social suicide.
I didn't realize that guys care about all these kind of things. Right?
Oh, it's
Oh, we
huge.
do.
Yeah, once a guy friend goes, hey, then like this girl, then like everyone knows right what.
No, you have a split second.
Jialat.
When this thing happens, right, you must straight up just own it.
Yeah.
Then you'll be fine.
You must be like, yeah. So why cannot?
If you tolerate 1 second, right,
GG.
then after that gone, you just have to sell that it's not true.
You know how?
G.
Okay, the reason why I brought this up also, right, is because I did have an experience in secondary school where a girl confessed to me.
Oi.
Oi!
And then
He asked this question to me.
That's why you want to bring this story for the last 4 years. You just want to bring this story
more.
up.
Yeah,
I think it's okay for me to share this.
we could have talked about this on 9872, by the way.
He's saying sorry for the show.
on national radio or stress. So I was so not well adjusted, right? And this is the first like female, like group of female friends that we made from another like single sex school. So yeah. So then this girl confesses to me and just say that I like you, that kind of thing, you know. I kind of just like found a reason to just walk away.
Oh my god.
And then I just never talked to her again.
Oh my god.
Because I didn't like her
never
back.
reply her?
I don't know how to, yeah.
Oh my god,
Sure
he's
or
a
not sure?
classic
Absolutely
ghoster.
didn't.
Sure or not sure? No wonder lah.
Wait, how did she confess to you?
Like she liked me,
in
yeah,
person.
yeah.
And you just walked away.
Yeah, I didn't know how
Okay,
to react
wait,
and
let-
interact in a
Wait, this
situation
was
like
secondary
that.
school though. He hasn't fully developed
Yeah.
emotionally, so it's not fair
Don't
to
have the
say
hair,
that.
but still
person-
know it.
But
Now
so
also
what?
lah.
Did one baby hair.
This one's like what? It's
I
like,
have a very weird testicle hair story also, but never mind. I'll save it.
Should we talk about
I'm
we
saving
can call
it.
you to
I'm saving it.
Anytime it's like a slow news day, we'll just call
Anytime when you want to resign your last we do one YOLO session.
No, but yeah, so I just completely didn't know how to interact in the situation. Lor.
Then how? So
Yeah.
what's the purpose of you telling us this story?
Why so brutal?
No, there's socially just no development. Lor. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I never see what this interaction look like in my life.
No, I
This is
think-
my
I
first
think a
time
step back.
being in it. No clue what to do.
Okay.
Do you even know what were your peacocking opportunity, right, to make her even like you? Was there
Absolutely
something you did?
blind to this.
Right.
To me, I'm just hanging with the boys. They are females.
So your looks
Okay.
like
They are all boys also to me. Shocking. Then we are just hanging together. Lor. Then I know that, okay, this guy trying to chill that girl, but I don't care. Not my tai chi. I'm not thinking about these things.
how
So
old are you?
if-
No, sec 3 or sec what?
Sec 3,
15,
the hair's
15.
too
got be. No, but some people grow
That's
differently.
long, sir.
I don't get into it.
That's late. No, for me, I think very similar to John, but I'll go one step further. Like, I think the relationships that I've been with, co-ed versus single sex, the co-ed girls, right, took the lead in those relationships. I think they know what they want already. Also, I was a very late bloomer.
More aggressive.
Really?
A bit, some aggressive, but not just aggressive, just like, okay, I know what I want, I'm gonna like take lead. So I really just like follow along, get dragged along. But like, with the single sex girls, I think they are like new, don't really know how to interact with boys also. So I feel like I was the one like kind of guiding them through relationships. Like young days lah, secondary school days.
I had the opposite. I feel like when I dated someone from a convent, I feel like their interaction with someone of the opposite sex is rarer.
Okay.
So they kind of just tell you where we're going with this, like what's next.
More straightforward.
Yeah, as opposed to like Pat, for example, she was a pretty girl in secondary school. Every day she go to school, like got guys swoon over her. So it's just like I'm another guy.
Okay.
So I'm like constantly being qualified. I think.
And it
Turns out you're the
working.
only guy.
I just want to say it.
Yeah, he got a pet.
It's not my first time saying that.
Wait, I'm very curious. So if a girl came up to you now and then she confesses to you in the exact same way, how would you react now?
No, now okay lah. Thank you, all this kind of thing lah. Like I'll interact. Lor.
Thank you.
Okay, pretend that it's just happened and
No,
then
you
she
confess
comes
to
up
me,
to you.
You're single, right? You got no.
you.
It's very,
Just
flattering.
confess
It's
to
very
me.
flattering.
We can have a great trailer. We can have a great trailer if you confess to me.
Oh my god, JP, very
He will die.
Okay.
Oh my god, JP, actually I've been wanting to tell you, like, I think you're very cute and I like you.
He's walking away.
Thank
He's
you,
walking
that's
away.
very flattering. You're a very nice person, but I'm attached.
No lah, you're
You're single.
I'm single.
Yeah, hypothetically. Like,
Okay,
I'm asking what's
hypothetically,
your
I'm single.
emotionally mature response now.
Okay.
Say you kind of like her.
I'll hang there for an hour.
Malfunctioning robot.
Cannot process.
I cannot also, I will die.
How do you confess? How do you
No, not
I don't
confess.
confess.
How do when people
I will
confess
die
to
with
you?
my feelings. And I will look like I have zero interest in the guy. Oh, okay.
So that's the sign. So
Yeah,
look out
so
for
if
it.
I go and say, hey JP, I like you, I think you're cute.
It's a dare. Someone paid you to say that.
Money was involved.
Gerald, so what was your game with your wife?
So I met my wife. She was a listener, and what happened was she.
God, say your fan.
No. She didn't know who I was at all.
okay.
She was an Adam Lambert fan, right?
Oh.
She took part in a competition, and she won an Adam Lambert poster.
Okay.
Okay, it was a signed poster, and I was a DJ back then. And then I don't know why there was like this delay in the delivery of the poster. So she kept.
Don't know why.
Don't know why. So she kept. No, really for reals.
Oh, okay. Are you really getting spicy?
So she kept texting into the station like, hey, you know, where's my poster? What is it? And it was a month lah. Right.
Oh.
So I replied her. I was like, okay, I'm sorry because there seems to be a bit of an issue. And then when I received the poster, actually I didn't even know how she looked like. I delivered the poster all the way to her house together with a few other Adam Lambert merchandise or whatsoever. So I gave it to her house. When she opened the door, I was
Just
like,
you?
Just me.
Right.
Yeah. Because I felt bad, right? Because all the other listeners didn't complain. It was only her.
Right.
So I delivered over, and then she opened the door. I was like, I'm so sorry. This is your poster, and I also prepared some extra gifts for you. Hope you like it. Thank you.
So
Bye-bye.
when the door opened, it was like,
Like literally, yes. Because in my head, I was like, who is this weird
Yeah.
person?
Could be an auntie,
can
could
be
be-
disturbing. Yeah. Because
that was
you
this
won't know, right?
beautiful girl.
So she opened the door. I was like, okay,
Damn.
bye. I closed the door, and then I went down.
How
to
old
my-
were you then?
She was 19. I'm 7 years older.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
So then I went downstairs to my car. I straight away went back to the contest page, right? I went to find out what was her Facebook.
I don't know. I don't think you should say this, but
You see, I tell you already,
And
not
then
well adjusted. Single sex games.
And then I quickly replied her using my own Facebook, and I was like, I'm so sorry for the delay again, and please enjoy.
He saw the
whatever."
opportunity and he took it.
And then she replied back. And then after that, we just kept talking.
Wow. Shot your shot.
Fast forward to about 4 years later, when I wanted to propose. I knew that she was, because I knew of her as a huge Adam Lambert fan. Adam Lambert came to Singapore.
Oh my god.
the greatest wingman.
Sony Music was very nice. She knew about my story because at that time I got a blog, right? So I blogged about the whole
Yeah.
thing, and then she was like, Gerald, could you do the interview at Adam Lambert? I was like, sure.
Yeah.
So then I printed out this sign, say yes to Gerald.
Yeah.
I went to this interview and I did the usual interview, and then I asked Adam Lambert, I was like, I want to propose to her, but I need your help.
You asked Adam himself.
I asked Adam Lambert in front of me, and then he was like, sure, why not? So he held up and I was like, please say yes.
Wow, that will do it.
And then it came out on like different news outlets and everything. And then American Idol was I think Fremantle Media, whatever.
Yeah.
They were doing like his tour about in different countries, and it was also shot, and it was also featured on American Idol about him helping this guy propose.
Wow.
Yeah.
Perks of being a radio DJ.
Yeah, man.
I took the picture, and then when I sent her the picture, of course, I was next to her. I sent her on WhatsApp, and I was like, hey, check out this picture. And then that was my first proposal.
He had another
First
proposal.
proposal.
But you never asked what. Please say yes. It's not.
Because she
ask
got
what.
confused. She thought Adam proposing to me.
No, because I had it planned to propose to her at Disneyland. Yeah, so that was already, we were already going on this trip.
Then Mickey Mouse take out the
So the Mexican do it. Please say yes.
No, it was even better. So he planned to do it during the fireworks, right? But during the fireworks, it's very crowded.
Yeah.
So he was like fumbling for the ring, and then after
No, I
that,
put
they
the
were-
ring in a rose, remember?
Yeah, or some, I can't remember. He did something, and then like the
Sing
fireworks were
gifts,
going off, and then he was trying to get the ring, and then the ring dropped. Then he tried to find the ring,
No, so okay. Anyway, 1 week before I was with Jian Hao in
Oh.
Paris because we were there for a work trip, right? And then I told him, I said, "Hey, can you follow me to Paris Disneyland? I want to find like a spot to propose to my wife, right? My wife to be." And then the whole day, instead of looking for a spot, we ended up like just playing, riding on the rides and everything. And then at night we were there at the fireworks, and I saw this moment, and it was like Tangled.
Yeah.
And then because we like Tangled a lot. So it was that moment that I wanted to propose. 2 weeks later, I brought her to Disneyland with me.
Yeah.
I put the ring in a rose, and then after that, I walked towards this area, and she kept taking pictures of the fireworks.
Yeah.
I was like, "Can you please stop?"
Yeah,
and then we started quarreling.
Oh.
I was like, "Why do you want me to stop?
I want to be to the fireworks.
I was like, "Just stop lah, please." And then there was like a small little barricade, like shin height, right?
Yeah.
And then because we were like not quarreling, I mean like it was like more of like, and then I fell over this shin height barrier thing, and she fell as well. And then it was that moment. It was and then she looked at me. She's like, "Walao." I was like, "Will you marry me?"
If you don't want at this point, you never mind.
And she was like, "Is this the reason why you kept asking me to stop taking pictures?" I'm like, "Yes."
Well done.
Thank you.
Very sweet. So St. Gabe's boys are cheesy in the best way.
I think something that's interesting is that Kim, right? You've actually been in the public eye for a very long time and from a very
Oh, we're
early
going
age.
completely. Oh, okay, yeah.
No.
sure.
It's relevant to this.
Okay.
Now, when you look back, do you think that experience has affected you in any? Like, how do you think that experience has affected you?
I don't think I've ever said this publicly before. Like, if people ask me like one-on-one, I've shared it, but I've never shared it like on a public platform or like social media, like nothing. When I was little, because I used to be in theatre school, so we did like a lot of like plays and stuff like that. So acting was always like a part of my DNA. It was very enjoyable. I really, really, really loved it. It was very fun. It was a different world. It was just very magical for me. So when I got older and I was and I started to be on TV, I also still really enjoyed it a lot because it's a different experience. For me, it's like, for me as a kid at that point in time, I was hosting a kids show. That was when I first started. And this
You
kids,
started as host already,
I started as a Chinese kids show host
At what age?
at like 9 or 10. Yeah.
The Chinese theatre really gave
And
me
it was your choice, not like your
It was
parents'
my choice. No, as in like my cousin was like, I think she saw that there was an audition going on or something, and then my parents brought me. It was like a random like weekend.
It's
Like,
always being dragged to auditions.
yeah, so it's like I was just like, oh, okay, Lord, then just do. I, like as a kid, I was very gung ho. I was okay to do anything. I think the inhibitions only came in when I was much older. So I had no sense of like the world when I was a kid. To me, it's just like another activity. So I didn't think so much about it, right? So when audition, and because it was a variety show, we got to do a lot of things. We like flew to different countries. Then like we would host this segment that I love. It's called like 梦想, which is like dreams, right? So basically, what dream does a kid have? They'll write in like email or whatever. They'll tell us, send letters, and then they'll say like, oh, I've always wanted to try ice skating, and then we'll get the kid in, and then we'll bring them like to learn how to do ice skating for the episode.
Wow, you make a wish at 10.
Yeah, and then like so like the hosts get to do it too.
Yeah,
So I got to do a lot of different activities. I went on like cruises, I went like overseas, and it was just really, really fun. So to me, it was like, I don't think I will ever forget it. Like so many experiences, climbing like the mountains and all that kind of stuff. And then after that, I went into acting. At this point in time, I was still in primary school, right? So I already had friends and all, and like they already know me as me. So they're still my very close friends. Like I'm still close with all my primary school friends.
Wow.
But there was a moment that I think I had like a mental switch or like realization that being in all these things actually comes with a lot of other stuff. So there was one day I was at a bus stop at Tanah Merah. I was with my best friend Darlene. We were gonna split there, and then she was gonna take another bus. I was gonna take another bus, and there was a bunch of secondary school kids that came up to me, and they recognized me from being on TV, from some like Chinese drama series, and they were like, "Hey, you're that girl!" Da, 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 da. And I was from girls' school, yeah, so I like never see boys before, no, scared, right? And it was a girl that came up to me, and then she was very friendly, and then she like basically put her arm around my shoulder, and then she was like talking to me, but I was terrified.
As in, you were still primary level at that
I was
time.
still, I think I was in primary 6. Yeah, not her fault though. Like she
Yeah.
wasn't like nasty or mean or anything. She was just very friendly talking to me. But I think I couldn't register that this has become like an regular interaction, or I don't know, like, you know.
Public property lah.
Yeah, in that moment. So I think at like 12, I was just like, huh? And then my best friend, who is in the US right now, if you watch this podcast, she stepped backwards and she was looking at me like, And I was like, wait, where are you going? Like, you know, it was a very unusual moment for me. And in that moment, I realized that, like, it does come with a lot of other things. And then you go on to secondary school.
Yeah.
So because you have a change in environment, then you realize, then everything hits you like all at once. Like, attention is not always a good thing, I feel. Sometimes people just have a certain perception of who you are already, and then they kind of just like go with that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not really one to like explain myself. I kind of just like, okay, you know, sure, like whatever. So I think at that point, I started to feel more and more intimidated about being in the media. So past a certain point, I just said I was busy because I was like in CCAs and stuff like that, and I kind of just like faded away.
I tried to live like a normal life outside of all of that lah.
Not even that. Like,
Don't deserve each other.
Seriously, he's the 80% of the extrovert. But
People give me things I take.
So in secondary school, I had a period where I was still acting until like about 13, 14. And then I remember there was once when I was about like 14, 15 that going to MediaCorp when my dad was driving me, I could feel this sense of like fear. And
like dread. To
yeah,
go.
like a sense of dread. And at that point in time, you know, nobody talks about mental health. They don't understand what these emotions are. But I just knew I felt scared or like dreadful. Not about acting. I still like acting. That was really fun for me. But I think it's more of like everything else that came with it. And I couldn't put two and two together. So I eventually kind of like faded out. And then when I came back, I still did some hosting and stuff. Like, it was always like part of my life.
But that was more for income really at that point.
Yeah, more or less. Actually, that's true. But I enjoy it. It's just that it's also less popular. So you know. Yeah. Then after that, when I came back into the media, it was through radio. Why I wanted to join radio was also because I thought about it. It's basically the job that I had always been doing. So like, you're hosting, you're doing all those things. But then you're alone in the air-conditioned room and you don't really have to... Radio, like, you don't really have to be on screen, you know? Yeah. So I thought like, oh my God, that's perfect. It's like the dream job, but the introvert's dream, you know? Yeah. So I was like, okay, I think radio is like, I can do it. I wouldn't have to be so... And then they changed it. Then now everybody got to be everything else. So.
Yeah, now it's social media.
Gerald's there as well.
But I gotta say though, I think at that point in time, because I had grown up, right? And obviously you mature and you understand yourself better. You learn how to be professional. Like that slow grow back into, I guess, being in front of the camera was actually very helpful. Yeah, because for many years I was like genuinely like terrified. I've never... It's so terrifying for me to say it because I've never said it before. Like, I'm scared.
I feel like me as a person, I love you so much more for that. Like, after knowing
oh my God. Bring it back to Joe. As in, what I mean is, I don't think at any point in time did I ever feel like my parents could have made better decisions for me.
Right.
Because some people might be like, oh, then why did they put you in like a theatre school? Why did they allow you to go to the media? Actually, my mom was quite protective. She didn't want me to join until much later because I was talent spotted when I was like maybe about 4.
Whoa.
Yeah, because
what were you doing?
In theatre. So they will come and watch. Then there was this show called like 彩虹夏日营. So they wanted me to join. Yeah. And then my mom actually said, no, I didn't know this. She was going to tell me. And then she only allowed me to kind of like join like much later when I was about like 9 years old. Because she felt like maybe I was a bit more like, you know, ready at that point in time. Also, it was my decision. Like they will ask me, you want to do?
Right. Okay, so thanks so much, Gerald and Kim, for joining us today. You can check them out on 987 this evening. Every evening, actually.
I don't know. It depends on what time you're tuning into the podcast.
666.
I remember when we went to your studio, right? Then Kim had this wall of toys at the glass thing. So I thought she was just kind of playing. I was a bit spooked up by it, to be very honest. When she started talking to it, right? I was like, oh,
more fusan.
This woman a little bit different, right?
Yeah, a bit different. A bit different.
No, but I,
like talking to them like actual people.
Yeah. No, so I thought maybe she's like, you know, because we never met. So this is the character she wants to present to us. Sure, right?
I can't imagine what it was like in his mind.
Then after that, I saw on Instagram, really, she still plays with it. Like your story, she'll just take picture on like people adding to her collection and then she still talks to them and shit. Then I'm like,
dude, bro, wow. I tell you something. I went with her.
Same.
Overseas. So this was over to LA. But we were there at night, right?
And then
suddenly she took out from her luggage.
I always travel with a jelly cat, the bunny.
And nobody was looking at her. Nobody was looking. She was just alone.
If I bring a small, I bring 2.
She didn't know I was behind her or whatever.
I don't care.
And she started talking to this thing.
Oh my.
It was like, are you okay? Okay, sleep mommy tonight.
Because
okay? I'm like, whatever
I don't
she
say
said.
mommy.
And then I was like, is she taking a video of herself doing this or what? She wasn't.